Last session, our party had just been thrown out of 12 distant howls abode within the black market, with strangely a person down. Calanthea had apparently become lost within the labyrinthian-like interior of the squalor within the black market, and yet the rest of the party continued on and encountered a strange old man who was protected by a wall of magic, and after some conversation and paying the fee, he showed them a secret way out of this hive of illegal activities they were in. After navigating a soggy, moss-ridden and forgotten mining tunnel, and having a scrap with a strange cultist, a big stone wall closed behind them and faded into the rocks, and the party found themselves in Fapenwall, a small, almost abandoned mining town sat at the top of a verdant little plateau that overlooks most of the Marquis of Beaked. They had a chat with Thrimmel, the dwarven innkeeper of the Gentle Delilah, as he shared stories of his grandfather's past, food made in-house, and booze with them, with stomachs and hearts full of warmth. The party laid to rest for the night, wondering what would await them in the morning.
My name is Ashley, and I play Little Bard.
Hi, my name is Bree, and I will be playing Kyrie.
Hi, I'm Nyx, and I'll be playing Avani.
Hi, I'm Tabby, and I'll be playing Calanthea.
And I'm Rob, the Studiam, and welcome to the Homebrew. So, you awaken to the sound of a light rain spluttering down. There's not so much a cool breeze, but not a warm breeze. It's a very mild breeze coming in through the windows, as they don't actually have glass on them. And that stirs a lot of you from your sleep. And as the sun is rising up to the noise of the gentle rain, imagine old school Minecraft waking up from like the rain coming down on the morning, the sun's kind of coming up, you can hear wet hands playing. So, as you're all waking up, you can hear Thrimmel say, "Right, we're open for business."
Oh god.
What are you gonna do? Keep in mind you're all in separate rooms.
I continue sleep.
I was gonna say, I think Little Bird will be dead to the world for a while. Because we're very injured.
I wake up and I guess I investigate
Investigate what?
the sound.
What, of Thrimmel saying, "Right, we're open for business"?
Yeah, because I'm asleep. I don't know what's going on.
Alright. You open your door and you can see Thrimmel wheeling himself down the hallway with all the doors on the right hand side. There are 4 doors, if you remember correctly. Each one of you are in your own rooms, and Thrimmel's is like located at the back on the right hand side. He kind of wheels up and gives each of your doors a rap. And he's like, "Come on, I can't have you laying around all day."
I'm gonna squawk at the door and then continue to sleep.
Okay.
"I see. I'll bring breakfast to you, shall I?"
And then I'm gonna just shout in Ovani's voice, "Thank you!"
Not a problem,
I do the
small
same
friend.
thing. I say, thank you.
"Oh, I see. You spent the night together."
No!
I just probably walk out the door and go, alright, I'm up. And I just follow him through, kind of.
Carries on wheeling, and you see a very familiar sight. There's the tavern that you spent the night in before. Now it doesn't have the candles lit. Instead, it's being entirely lit by the warm morning sun coming through, but there's still rain trickling outside, so it's kind of got like a, what's the word, a humid interior.
After a minute or two, I'm gonna get up, get my shit together, and head up to the bar proper, and just limp my way through. Probably, I think putting on the limp.
I was gonna say, he carved open your back. Like,
Yeah, you know, just slouching, like, doing a little limp, feeling sorry for himself. But, did have a nice meditation with a sword, so that was fun.
oh yeah, you didn't sleep.
No.
You
Oh,
instead
yeah.
meditated on your sword for 8 straight hours.
Hoping that I would get something out of it.
And you did.
I did.
You are now fully attuned to your Kapesh, your scythe. He carries on, like, wheeling himself across, and then pulls himself up to a table, like, slams his hand on it, and "I've got this one ready for you. I'll have your food ready in a moment."
I'm gonna just say thank you again in Ovani's voice and have a seat.
You can, he wheels off behind the bar again, and you can hear pots clanging, and slowly but surely the smell of, like, sweet roasted potatoes and herby vegetables start emanating out from behind the bar and through the kitchen and stuff like that. And you hear another door open, the other door next to you, as Calanthea walks out, right as rain, was just in the spare room.
Hello.
I'm just gonna give her a very confused look, like, did you?
That you still exist? Hello?
Yeah, thanks for coming to find me, by the way.
Don't
gonna shrug.
mention it. You're here now. That's all that matters.
Ah, yeah.
I'm literally just gonna shrug and point at my sword. And...
From the kitchen, you hear Thrimmel go, "Oh, is that a friend of yours? She showed up late last night, battered and bruised. Not sure what happened to her. Not a coin on her, so I felt kind of bad, to be honest. I gave her the room free of charge. Shouldn't leave friends out there like that. I thought you lot were better than that."
Yeah, so did I.
I guess at that time I walked down the stairs as well, out of my room.
She was left outside, beaten and bruised, so I brought her in and gave her some salve, and she seems alright now, but you shouldn't leave your friends out there like that.
Yeah, you shouldn't leave your friends out there like that, guys.
I believe we only just met. Like, we haven't been together for too long, and as far as I'm concerned, we kind of got kidnapped and then just left astray. So, we kind of just found our own way out, and Calanthea, I guess, struggled a little bit, but we're all here now, so I don't really see a problem.
Well, if you're all here, then that's what's important. And he kind of wheels himself out. It's like pushing Calanthea a bit to get towards the desk. Carries on wheeling and just slams 4 plates of food down. It's lovely golden roasted potatoes with little bits of rosemary. Familiar ale, the one with the flour in it from before. Lots of roasted vegetables and stuff like that. And he kind of slaps his hand on the side of the table and goes, "That'll get you sorted in the morning."
I'm gonna thank him again in Ovani's voice, and then just start going to fucking town. Like, it is disgusting to watch. I'm going to town on the middle.
I was gonna question a little bit, saying roast potatoes on what time is it? 8 o'clock? 9 o'clock?
Aye?
There's never a wrong time for roast potatoes.
You have a problem with my potatoes? I'll take them back if you don't want them.
No,
Oh,
it's
I'll
fine.
take
It's
them in
fine.
his stead.
No.
That's
I'll just start eating the roast potatoes and just trying to shut up.
He kind of looks at you eating the roast potatoes like, "Yeah, you better eat those fucking roast potatoes."
Which is
Yeah, I
probably
guess we
by
all
war.
eat.
Yeah. He's probably taller than you, little bird.
Yeah, well, you know. Did I get anything last night while meditating? Any guidance or...
Not so much guidance as it is... Wait there, I'll have to pull you into a private chat. Not so much guidance as it is a voice saying, "Don't trust the merchants."
Well, that was entirely unhelpful. I'm going to write what you just told me in my little notebook. And try and figure out what the fuck I was on about.
So Thrimmel kind of wheels himself back over and he goes, "Where did you folks come from before this?"
I'm just gonna look blankly
I'm
towards
just gonna
Orion.
shrug. I'm just...
Why me? No,
Have you been to any other places in Marquis of Beat? Like, it just seems a bit peculiar that you'd end up right smack bang in the middle of it without...
I'm just gonna point to the cliff we came out of the window, and just...
As far as I know, there's no trade routes that go that way.
No,
Kind of looks
I'm
at
gonna
you a
shake
bit
my head like,
suspicious.
no.
I could have swore you mentioned something about Gripley beforehand.
yes, we did come from a town not too far from here. It was called Basin.
Ah, basic
Yes.
hubbub of Gripley activity in this area.
Yes, I had just arrived from a ship, in fact.
Did you notice anything peculiar about Basin? Are you planning on going back there?
Oh,
I'm just
possibly,
gonna shake
yes.
my head at him, but fuck no.
I wouldn't say I noticed anything particularly different, except a lot of newcomers. And yeah.
See, Basin is a peculiar one. We actually have a few runaways from there, currently living in our town. They've been here for a fair while, actually. They mentioned something about a very strong figure kind of picking them up and well, picking up their families and taking them off. You wouldn't happen to know what they were on
I'm
about,
gonna
would you?
say telepathically to Ovani and Ivory, I guess. Does he mean the elf woman?
I don't think the elf woman was
She was strong.
that tall.
She was tall and she was strong.
Yes, she was.
Could you
Oh.
tell me more about this entity or creature?
The children don't like to talk about it much, just from what I've heard in passing town. If you want, you're more than welcome to go visit them. There's a little rundown shack, a little ways into Fapenwall that they all live in. The adults of the village try to do what they can for them, but there's only so much you can do for children who aren't at home and are in an unusual place, you know?
Right.
I'm gonna say again telepathically to the two of them. Is there something that we should be checking out?
I turn to Trummel and I say, well, we might have heard something about a merchant that was messing with the Cripply town.
A merchant.
Yes, a merchant, very tall, very muscular.
Aye, that would fit the bill. Carrying a lot of peculiar stock. He kind of looks around to see if anyone's here and leans in to Calanthea and just goes, the kind that you wouldn't sell at a normal market.
Oh. Okay.
I lean into the conversation and sort of on the table and I say, perhaps living things, not livestock, but living things, yeah.
That would fit the bill. If you do plan on questioning the children, I wouldn't advise bringing it up, as it seems to be a sore subject for them, but they probably have more information about it than I do. I figured I'd check is all, because if you plan on going back there, I'd rather not have your death on my conscience.
Thank you, it means a lot to me, and I'm sure we all could use some help.
At the end of the day, it's for my benefit, not yours. Although I do like you folks.
That's unnecessarily rude.
I turn to Calanthea and I say, I ask rather, so what happened back there? We kind of lost you.
Yeah, I can't say my experience was very pleasant, but, you know, I've made it out alive, at the very least.
As Clancy says it wasn't pleasant, I'm just gonna describe like the black market, like
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did see a lot of awful things out there.
yeah.
We
Well,
don't have to go back, right? Right?
Well, we don't need to, but I do have some things I'd like to address there.
Oh,
I'm gonna break it to you guys. I don't think we can go back. Like, it kind of just shut behind us.
that's fine by me.
He kind of just listens to you guys talking. He's like, black market?
I mean, I didn't say that out loud, but you know.
I mean, everyone else is going to have to.
Meh.
He's leaned into the desk with you all. Because he was whispering to Calanthea. So he's probably fucking heard this.
I look away and I start eating more.
I'm literally gonna look him dead in the eye and just challenge him. Just be like, yeah, we went, it's fine.
You're not that kind of people, are you? I mean, not that there's anything about that. A paying customer is a paying customer, and I'll do what I can to help you, but, we don't need trouble here in Fapenwall.
I'm
No, of course
gonna
not.
pull out my notebook and just write, we just got a ride, ended up there, and just on it.
Ah, stragglers. Bit of a weird place to end up, but
Yeah.
as long as they're not bringing harm here, then I don't see any harm in it, I guess.
Yeah, one thing led to another and it sort of happened.
I see.
I would just be a little bit careful picking flowers next to the mountaintop.
Well, I can't get up there so much anymore. I have people of the village to help me with that. I even have my own growing garden in the back for the flowers that I use for cooking, just to help me out a little bit more.
Very nice.
Off seasons
Lovely.
and stuff like that.
Nice.
Can't always get the flowers that you need.
Alright, but I thank you for this lovely dinner,
No problem.
breakfast, and I'll stand up and kind of just usher my way to the door.
I'm just gonna pour the rest of the food in my mouth and give him a little nod and a thank you and follow Kyrie and say telepathically to her again. Is this something we should investigate or no?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Okay. Sure, why not?
So as he sees you leaving, like the door and everything, he goes, "Oh, I myself am not quite sure which house the children live in. The house itself is actually quite disheveled, so the children usually come to me. It's not safe for me with my wheelie chair. But there might be people about the village who can help you out. There's not that many houses around the village. If you really wanted to, you could look for it yourself. But just making you aware."
Yeah, I follow Kyrie and Little Bird as well.
Right, and we just wander off, I guess, on search.
I mean, it can't be that hard to find. We'll just look for a shit house.
Yeah.
Sure enough, as you leave the fucking tavern, you can see, like, 2 roofs away. There's a roof that's just collapsed almost.
I think that might be it.
I guess I just go bingo and I just start waltzing towards it.
Damn, that was hard.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to be.
Is there a door or anything when I can knock on?
Yeah,
Or is it-
there's a door.
Okay, I'll knock on the door.
You're, what is it?
Hello? Who are you? What is... Why is your house like this? Why... Have you not
You
got
tried
any
buying
respect?
a fucking house when you're a child. Doesn't work.
Listen here, you little twit. Are you parent?
Well, I don't know. I think they're alive.
Oh, okay, good. Could you go get one of them?
I've been trying to for the last 10 years.
Okay, very nice. Could you let us in by any chance?
I don't know, Houston. Not really.
Can I just kick down the door?
Make a strength check.
19.
We are the...
I was gonna say I'll only take a 3 to do it because of how like wood rotted the door is. You go to kick the door with all of your force, and your foot just goes through it, and you're kind of stuck there with this wood rotted door off its hinges stuck on your leg, and you're just like.
Oh, I love this.
He kind of goes, "Ah, what the fuck you doing?"
That's not a very nice way to greet your
You see
visitor.
a very small, gripply child, like dressed in rags, kind of very slim.
I would like
Like, why'd you
to.
do that?
I would like to open the door while Kyrie's foot's still
I mean,
inside.
you can't. It's off the hinges. It's
Why is it
stuck
on?
on Kyrie's foot.
Sure, I take it off.
Thank you.
Try
What did
opening
you-
the door.
What did you do to my door?
Listen, I thought you needed some house remodeling. It already looks like a shit tip as it is.
Why would you make it worse then?
Shush. Right? What ails you, young child? What ails you?
I've got no fucking front door for the stars.
Okay. It just lets the air get in. It makes your room a little bit airier. Come on. I know the air comes in from the roof because you don't have that either. But come on, like.
Have you ever tried sleeping in the winter without a fucking door or roof?
Yeah, you've got rags on. You can deal with that. I'm sure you'll be fine.
I'm meant to live in fucking water.
Do you need a hug? Is that what you need? Is that what you're crying for? Do you need a hug?
Yeah, I'm someone that's not broken my door.
Right, shut up. This is the best you're gonna get, okay?
Oh.
I'll open my arms up.
This little gripply child, like, runs into your arms and begins sobbing uncontrollably, and you can just hear, "My fucking door and my parents, and how do I do with these people?"
I like how he prioritizes the door over his parents.
Well, that was the immediate problem. Oh, fuck me, Brew.
Can I, like, pick him up and take him to the tavern?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, I'll pick
Make
him
Why
up.
a
did you
strength
fucking
check.
buy him a pipe?
He's a kid!
Make a strength check.
Okay. 14 plus strength modifier.
You go to pick him up and he goes, "What the fuck are you doing?"
16.
Get
He kind of pushes himself off you and he's like, "Where are you taking me?"
Somewhere with a roof and a door.
So I have a fucking house in this village now. I did have a door.
Is there anything else in the room?
A lot of like dusty old books and stuff like that.
Just like to tuck like the grippy under one arm and just walk back to the tavern.
She begins kicking and screaming. Just, "Where are you fucking taking me?"
Please! Calm down, please!
You fucking kicked in the door and now you're taking me out my arm!
Please calm down, please. I don't like kids, please. I'm just trying to help. You
I
understand?
was breaking the door, help!
Look, if you were like this little of a bitch, no wonder your parents aren't here. Come on!
Oh, that's not very nice
Shut
to
up.
say.
I'm looking at you and trying my hardest,
You
okay?
broke the door!
I don't give a shit about your door.
I want to.
I do!
Right, okay. And I'll like kick the door again. Just
Oh!
okay.
I need to
I'm
say,
going back to the tavern. Can someone help me? Shut
During
this
this entire
Ripley
time-
just goes limp and starts sobbing uncontrollably in your arms.
during this entire thing, Little Bird has been crying with laughter.
I'm glad you found it funny, you bird fuck!
Just gonna show him the swords I have.
At least I won't be cold then!
Oh no. I'm gonna take them to the tavern and like knock on the door, be like that.
Aye, how can I help?
So we've got this screaming little.
Get off me!
Shut up, please. We've got this screaming little
Have you
grizzly.
abducted a child?
Yes, no.
Why are you taking a child? Hang on, hang on.
Listen, right? Right, okay, the grizzly would shut up for a sec. We're gonna like. I wouldn't say replace is a good word, but like move them out. So they're obviously in a house. It's all broken down. Look, they're gonna die in there. It's. I imagine it's gonna be starting to get towards cold, wintry nights. And
Aye, we fitted them with a new door quite recently.
yeah.
We used some of the spare wood we had
I'm
left over. There's
gonna
not-
quickly
yeah,
whip out my notebook and just write, "Do you have another door?"
I'm just gonna say like, I can tell it was strong and sturdy and like sort of like
No, it wasn't. It was made with spare wood.
and like sweep like the wood pellets off my foot sort of thing.
We don't have a lot of spare wood up here. We're on a fucking plateau.
Surely this Gerpley could take a spare room or something. I'll pay for it, just as long as they shut up, please.
Oh,
Just stop crying.
well, you've got to make it worth my while. I mean, that's. I know we don't get many visitors, but that's a room that could be used for someone like yourself. And all four of you are currently renting out the rooms.
I would just like to just nestle like a gold piece into his hand.
He looks at you and he goes, "You broke the door, didn't you?"
You just see me nodding furiously behind
I
Troy.
can neither
I
confirm
can
nor
see
deny.
from your friends you broke the door.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
I did!
No, shut up, please. Have you got any sedative for this?
He kind of just rests his head in his hands and he's like, "We knew that fucking door would last."
Yeah.
Did it just come off the hinges as you went to open it, or?
Just gonna shake my head.
If I went to open it with my foot, what would you say?
I'd say you've never learned how to open a fucking door in your life.
Well, that's all said and done.
They kicked my door in!
Shh. Gold piece in your hand.
What? Did you say go piss in
I
your
said,
hand?
I said go piss in your hand, not go piss in your hand.
I thought you told the Grippling to just go piss in its own hands.
Right, Grippling, please do not piss on me. Please.
Oh, fuck me.
I'm too dehydrated too.
Stop your whining. Right.
Oh.
I'm just gonna set it up in a room. Do you have any locks doors? I know.
Aye, but it's up to the child to lock it if they want to. I'm not
Okay.
going to allow you to keep a child captive in my tavern.
No.
That's a little beyond me.
Oh, trust me, you wouldn't want this little shit wandering around after the deaths of all these people.
She's lived in this village for, God, 5 odd years now. I
Oh.
don't mind them.
Well,
They kind of run up and go, "Oh, go through they broke me door."
well, I don't think they're treated quite well. I mean, you said you got them a door, but like, their roof's completely flattened.
Aye,
My
we
foot
use
through
what
the
little
door.
wood we have. You may notice that the tavern doesn't have a fire. You may
Oh.
notice that this entire plateau has got no trees on it. The
Oh,
majority of the people living here are elderly folks.
well, lucky for you, I just cut up some fresh new wood in the shape of a door.
If it's got wood rot in it, then we can't bring it into another house because it'll give the other house wood rot. And then the problem will just escalate from there.
Do you want a fire or not?
I wouldn't mind one.
Ooh, there you go, there you got a door. Right, so I guess
why-
I'll put the Gripply in the spare room and just like shut the door.
Why did you bring Bulligup here?
I'm sorry, who?
Bulligup, the child, he kind of gestures behind him. The child, the Gripply, the smart Gripply,
Bully Gup.
Bulligup.
Oh, okay.
Bulligup.
Okay. Bully Gup, right.
Yeah.
I guess I put them in a situation where they didn't want to say anything to me at all other than whine and cry and whine. So I thought it would be best to like calm them down by taking them to a place where they couldn't really bitch about their door.
You do understand that that's just how Bullygup's voice is. You may have noticed the scar along their throat.
Oh, okay. But they didn't need to cry so much. I was just trying to help.
You're a stranger. You're a stranger breaking into their home.
Well-
You would cry too.
What's new? I'm guessing that a stranger broke into their home and repositioned them before.
Now,
Oink.
there's no fucking need for comments like that. Bulligup has been a wonderful individual. She's actually the trainee cartographer of the town. I say trainee because she's only reading the books that are available here, which tend to be quite musty, but she's trying
Okay.
her best to make the best of a bad situation.
Of course, I can also tell that your repairs whining and dining in that wonderful 5-star hotel of hers.
As I said, we don't have many other places available.
Well, you do now. I'm just gonna point back at the gold piece in the hand.
A gold piece won't build a house.
A gold piece will rent the room.
Aye, for a short while.
Well, that's good. We'll sort something out in the meantime.
Fair enough. He kind of looks at you, goes, Bulligup is here now. Why don't you just ask the questions? I'll deal with housing arrangements. I'm sure we can find a spare bedroom in somebody's house that they won't mind being used by Bulligup.
Okay, that's a lot better. I wonder why you haven't came to this conclusion sooner. Considering like the conditions of the place, what they were living in. They're just a child, like breathing
Aye.
all those dust particulates. That could like seriously.
Have you
sit there
tried
for-
living with a Gripply in a home that isn't meant for Gripply? Gripply are very mucusy creatures, let's say. Pretty much any home that has a Gripply in it, if it's a home made of wood, like is made for you and I, would quite rapidly get wood rot
Okay.
because of the mucus. They're not suited to living in wooden environments.
Look, I'll go search for stuff what we can do to repair her house, but I guess that she can't stay in the tavern for too long, considering what you've just said.
It will be difficult, but we can work something out.
Okay.
I have salt that I can put in after she's left the room that might help draw out moisture and such.
I'd like to push Ovani or Calamthea towards the door with the Gripply in, because there's no chance that I'm going to be talking to them, and make sure not to kick the door down.
You can hear just gentle sobbing from in the room.
Yeah, I look towards Calanthea. Maybe she's better for this.
Me?
Yeah.
Fuck me, at this point it might be me.
Okay. I gently knock on the door.
What is it?
Hi, it's, my name is Calanthea. I just wanted to see if you were okay.
Would you be okay?
No, I wouldn't.
I can hear you rolling your eyes.
What?
It's not my fault I'm like this.
You can hear that?
It came across in the tones of your voice.
Oh,
Okay.
I see. Well, I was just seeing if there's anything I can do for you.
I wouldn't mind something to eat.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah. I'll be back in a minute. I'll go down to Thrimmel and say that little Gripply wants some food.
I can sort that. We have his her favourite food on hand.
Okay, that's good. Maybe it'll stop her striking.
There will be a fucking plate full of flies, I swear to God.
Pressed block of like salted fish,
Ooh.
and like cuts a chunk off it, just and hands it to you. It kind of smells quite pungent. He goes, "We don't like keeping it around, but there isn't much food made for Gripply. Not this
Okay.
far up."
I hold it at arm's length and rush as fast as I can to the Gripply, knock on the door, and put the food outside the door.
You kind of hear it like a, is that fish?
Yes, it's fish.
Um, is it for me, or are you gonna eat it?
No, it's for you.
She kind of opens the door timidly, and now that, you know, because I never gave a description before, you can see like a muddy green short Gripply with a scar along its throat. Looks like a dagger's kind of carved along it. She's got like greeny yellow eyes that are kind of wet with tears. She looks down at it and she goes, "Thank you. Uncle Thrimmel doesn't like cutting it, so he's been trying to teach me to cook, but I'm not good with that. I'm better with the books."
Well, at least you're good at something.
She kind of like looks at you and smiles a bit, and she goes to croak, and you just hear it. Well, she can't croak properly because of the cut in her neck. Her face saddens again.
Would be a shame if we had a healer.
No, it's an old wound.
Oh, an old one. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like a fresh one. It's like a big scar across here from when she was like younger.
Ah, okay.
She kind of sits there and starts lightly chewing on it, and you can see slowly her face starts to change from sad to a little bit more normal. So
I'll pat her on the head and then leave her to it.
you go to pat her on the head, and she kind of backs away a bit. Please don't. No.
I hold my hands back in like a reserved motion and say that I'm not gonna hurt her or anything. I was just trying to make a nice gesture.
I appreciate that, but after what's just happened, someone offered me a
Yeah.
hug and then tore me out of my home. You can see why I'd be a little bit reserved about this.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I'm gonna roll my eyes.
And that-
I'm gonna walk up to the room. I'm just gonna pull out my notebook. I'm gonna write what happened to your parents, and do you want revenge? I'm just gonna show it.
She looks at the book and then looks at you and kind of gets sad again and takes the food out of her mouth and sits it down. She goes, I don't want revenge. I just want to know what happened to them.
I'm gonna furiously write in the book. If you help us, we will find out for you. Let's throw it back to her.
The people in the village do their best, but it's like they disappeared into thin air.
I'm gonna write again. They did their best and they meant well, but they aren't suited to this kind of thing. I am. I'm gonna throw it back to her.
Okay. If you can get some of my books, so I've got something to read while I'm here, I'll tell you a bit about what happened.
I'll just write, of course, give me a minute, and I'll just leave and go straight back to our shack and pick up as many as I can carry. Maybe I'll grab Kyrie on the way. I'll literally just grab her by the arm and drag her with me. And we'll grab as many books as we can carry.
Yeah. You kind of put the books down in front of her and she looks at you and she goes, "Thank you. There's not much to do in the village, so reading and learning these things has been keeping me busy. But there's only so many books that are here, and 5 years passes by very slowly when you've only got about 20 books to read." She kind of pulls out a little map and she shows it to you and she goes, "I've been trying to learn how to draw maps of places. Would you like to see?"
I'm just gonna nod.
She shows you a map of Fable Wall and kind of passes it to your hands and she goes, You can have that for helping me. I know it's not much, but..."
I'm gonna say in Ovani's voice, I'm gonna thank her, and then I guess I'll just sit down and wait for her to ready herself.
She kind of closes a couple of books and sits them next to the bed and she goes, About 5 years ago, I was living happily with Mum and Dad in Base Inf. Dad was a fisher, and Mum worked with fabrics, making clothes. She was very good at it. She kind of shows off a little colourful bracelet that she's got. She goes, she made me this a couple of days before everything happened. But one day, a big scary lady came in and hurt the mayor and told him that if he didn't give them what they were asking for, then she'd hurt the rest of the village.
I'm gonna lie and look at the ceiling for a second, and then I'm gonna pull my notebook out again and ask, was this a tall elf woman?
She was tall. She did have pointy ears, yes.
I'm gonna try to describe her, and then show her the thing.
She looks at it and kind of, her face gets scared, and she goes, "Yeah, that sounds like the lady."
I'll nod, close my book, thank her again, or give her a little bow, and I'm gonna leave. And I'm gonna say telepathically to everyone, I guess, Kyrie, Ovani, and Calancia, Idrinden has wronged too many people. She needs to die.
Yeah, I can agree.
Agreed. She's done a lot of harm, and I think the world would be better without that.
We might have to, obviously this is all gonna have to be telepathic, but I'm gonna say we might have to kill a lot of people, because she's got a lot of, employees.
True.
But I think we need to do it.
I don't suppose we could do it sneakily, or one-on-one. Oh yeah, well, I guess 1v5, without all of them.
We can, but then we risk one of her people just doing the same thing over.
That's true.
If we destroy from the base, there's nowhere for the rest to come back.
Listen, I'm already a wanted woman, and I know how it feels to look over your shoulder every 5 seconds, and I trust you. That is not the feeling what anyone wants here. So if we're gonna do this, we're gonna need to wipe this clean. I do not disagree that assassination is probably the easiest out of the options.
Assassination is a quick fix, but not a good one. And as much as I do agree that it would be the easiest and fastest way, I don't think we're going to get that option. I think we should go back to the black market or back to Basin. Either or.
I don't think we know the way back to the black market. So I think Basin would be the best option. Because we went through the mines, and the mines, they are close behind us, so...
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Except, Kalantia, how did you get back?
I can't remember. I think I fell asleep and then I woke up and I somehow managed up to be outside the tavern, and I remember being in a lot of pain and kind of bloodied and bruised. So I just made my way inside and luckily was received welcomely.
I'm going to say to the three of you then, we should head back to Basins, wait for them to come back, try to evacuate as many people as we can, and try to set some traps maybe.
Yeah, I think some traps and an ambush would be preferable.
Yeah. I don't think we'll win a
Yeah.
straight fight, but
No.
we will win if we play smart.
Especially if we set up a lot of 15-foot cones with a lot of people.
Yeah, it'll be great, it'll be great. I'm going to go and find Frimmel. I'm going to go find him, and I'm going to just pull out my notebook, I'm going to write a thing describing what we're going to do, that we're going back to Basin, and if he could look after the Gripply and make sure she's okay until we come back, we will either have the head of the woman who took her parents, or we will have found out where they are. Or we'll be
I
dead.
don't think we should show the child to the head.
Metaphorical.
He kind of looks at you and goes, "Oh, I can take care of Bullygub for a little while. It might be worth asking the mayor of Basint as well. Try and find out what you can from him."
I'm going to write again that we got on good terms with the mayor. He likes
That's
us.
difficult to do.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, the mayor of Basint is...
I was going to write in my book, I almost died again. Which will show him.
From what I've heard, he's not welcoming to newcomers, so the fact that you're on good terms is definitely a plus.
Yeah. And then I'm going to give him a deep bow, thank him sincerely, and I'm going to, I guess, try and figure out, do we have a map? Like of the region?
Yes.
We do have a map, yes.
In that case, I'm going to go to Albany and actually see the map.
I guess I have the map.
I have the map.
Oh no,
Yeah,
yeah,
Kyrie's
Kyrie's got the map.
I'll just rest the map down on the nearest table.
There is one thing I would like to ask Trimmel. I sort of turn to Trimmel and I ask about the healing woods that can be turned into a sort of self, or some
Right,
sort of,
healing woods can be turned into a salve.
Yes, where could I do that? I think that would be quite useful.
Well, I can show you how to do it if you'd like. Have you got some on you?
Oh yes, I do have a few.
Right,
Thank
then.
you.
Come with me into the kitchen and I'll show you. Basically, he roughly chops them into probably about finger length, cuts off the skin of them, and boils them down with just a little bit of water, and then jars them up into little clay pots, about finger size. But he lets it sit for a good couple of hours, he lets it simmer down and get really thick and mucousy, and then kind of scrapes them in. And he goes, simple as that. There you go, 2 vials.
Thank you.
While Ovani's going through this, I'd like to sit down with Kyrie and Calantia and sort of plan a rough route from where we are now to Basin. I know the map's in community items, but we can just do a straight shot. But I don't know if there's any sort of trade routes or roads that go from where we are to Basin. Oh yeah, there is a road that comes down off the mountain, then
Yeah.
sort of circles round. Or we can just go straight, but that'll be more dangerous, I assume.
Thrimmel kind of calls out while he's in the kitchen because he can hear you guys talking about the map, and he goes, once you get past the mountains, the forest in between Basinth and Casavold, it's not that dangerous. It's just standard forest. May encounter a couple of little things there, but nothing to really worry about. I mean, it's next to a it's next to multiple communities.
I think our best bet then might just be go straight to Basin. Do we know how often the elf woman goes to Basin? Is it monthly?
What do you call him? The mayor said it was like every 2 weeks.
Okay.
The merchants showed up.
We've got about a week and a bit then.
Yeah.
Can we roughly guess how long it will take us to get back? On foot?
A journey like that on foot would probably take about 3 days.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. It still gives us a week when we
gives
get
us
there.
plenty of time.
Even if we leave now, we've still got, maybe 8 days left. Plan. Get ready. I'm going to suggest to everyone then that we come down off the mountain and then try and go for a straight shot to Basin. I'll just suggest to everyone then that possibly our best course of action is to just come down off the mountain and go as straight as we can to Basin and explain what we're doing to the mayor and everyone in their town, and try to convince them not to kill us, I guess, and try and convince them to help us.
Right, let's go, shall we?
Yeah.
Malt on out the door.
I'm going to literally just wait for everyone to get ready and then, yeah, we'll head out.
Each of you just a small assortment of dried goods in a little bag to keep you going. He goes, I hope it helps, and please don't forget to come back to Fablewall and let us all know what's happened.
I'll just nod to him and thank him, and that's really all I can do. Just thank him, and then make our way.
Yeah, I thank Drummel as well for what he's done for us.
You're most welcome. I'm glad I could be of help, and thank you for writing in my book. It means a lot. Unfortunately, we had to end the session a little early today, so I'm sorry that this is a short episode, but we promise it'll be worth it. The next episode's a good one. Thank you all for joining, both players and listeners, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.